Hey, let me tell you a story. Not from the news, not from court records. Just something passed in whispers, in shadows, in silence. They called him the Welder. His name faded under layers of rust and smoke. Some said he once worked offshore. Others whispered about a military background, but none of that mattered. What mattered was the structure he built deep in the Appalachian forest. The surface showed only a rusted warehouse, covered in vines and forgotten by time, but below, a labyrinth waited, not a basement, a concrete tomb, reinforced, soundproofed, meticulously designed. The walls didn't just block sound, they devoured it. Every chamber had welded steel bars, perfectly sealed. Floors sloped toward drains. Blood vanished. Footsteps echoed but never escaped. No one could hear the screams. The welder ensured that. When visitors came, police, hikers, the curious, he powered up the machines, grinders, torches, compressors. The roar was deafening. A smoke screen of noise. From outside, it was just industry, but underneath, it was horror, pure and quiet. His victims weren't chosen at random. He sought the invisible, addicts, drifters, runaways, anyone off the grid. He approached with kindness, a warm tone, a promise of help. But it always ended the same way, a closed cage, a weld sealed. In 2009, firefighters found a van, burned near the ravine. Inside, charred bone, no names, no answers. They called it an accident, then hikers vanished. Then Jenna Alvarez. She was smart, prepared. She followed trails. She texted often. The last message was a voice note. Calm, casual. Some guy said there's a shortcut to the overlook. Looks legit. Might save me an hour. Love you. That was the last time anyone heard her voice. Search teams combed the woods. Dogs, drones, maps, but the forest gave nothing. No gear, no trace. No sign she ever existed, because she was underground, locked away. And above her, machines masked her silence. Whispers started. Locals spoke of shadows moving near the warehouse, of lights flickering at night, of something dragging metal through leaves. A boy claimed he saw a man in a mask, holding something heavy. No one believed him. 6 weeks later, he vanished too. Then Kyle Morgan entered the story. Rookie cop, fresh out of training, eager to prove himself. Assigned to investigate the warehouse alone, his dashcam showed the approach. Thick fog, trees leaning in, a chain link fence cut. A gate swinging loose, he stepped inside. The signal held for a moment, then the camera died. His cruiser was found 3 days later. Still running. Driver door open, radio dead. His flashlight lay at the foot of the basement stairs, flickering. Dim. He never came back. More people disappeared. Couples, backpackers, students, always near Blackhollow. Always without a trace. Still, the warehouse stood. Still, the hum returned each night. The government intervened, quietly. In 2022, roads were removed from maps. Cell signals died miles from the site. Military. Vehicles passed through, but no explanations followed. Locals were warned to stay away. They did. Rumors spread about tunnels, rooms, old military plans. No proof, just fear. What is known is simple. The cages remained. The torches still hissed. The welder still waited. Because evil doesn't shout, it hums. They came in quietly. No big headlines, no warnings. One day the area was on the map. The next, it wasn't. GPS showed endless trees. Cell signals died 10 miles out. Locals called it a glitch. The old-timers knew better. They locked their doors early, told their kids to avoid the woods, warned them not to follow strangers offering shortcuts, especially if you wore a welding mask. The warehouse looked abandoned, but the power never stopped. Flickering lights stayed on. The hum remained constant. Inside, the walls were lined with insulation thick enough to drown a scream. Welded cages, some small as dog kennels, others long enough to lie down. Each with a floor drain, some with rust-colored stains that never faded. The smell was permanent. Metal, mold, sweat, despair. It clung to your skin, your lungs, your memory. Survivors, there were whispers. One girl, barely 19, stumbled out of the woods barefoot, covered in grime. Said she escaped a basement with no time, no sound, no way out. She spoke of a man who never raised his voice, who never ran, who always walked, slowly, deliberately. His mask never came off. His gloves never came off. His machines were always on. And she said this, before disappearing into silence again. He doesn't kill for rage or passion. He collects silence. He welds it shut. The government knew. They placed fencing, signs, patrols, but no press releases. No public warnings, as if denying it made it disappear. But it didn't. Jenna's name still hung in the air. Kyle's cruiser still rested near the tree line. New tracks appeared in the mud each month, and still, the warehouse stood. Still breathing, still waiting. No windows, no chimney. Just that one metal door, one way in, none out. Some locals believe he built tunnels, that the forest floor is hollow, that he moves beneath, like a ghost made of steel and flesh. Others say he's dead, and the machines now run on their own, but they keep hearing things, at night. Sounds that aren't animals, lights that flicker too steadily, screams that never quite make it to the surface. Those who go looking don't come back. A true crime podcaster tried once, parked his van near Blackhollow, set up cameras, live streamed the approach. The signal cut 10 minutes in, his channel stayed quiet after that. Weeks later, hikers found the van. Inside, just his mic, still recording, just static. And underneath it, if you turned the gain high enough, you could hear it, a hiss, a hum. The sound of something working, welding, grinding, alive. He's not a legend, he's not a ghost, he's just a man who vanished from the world and built a new one under it. The welder didn't speak much. Those who heard him said his voice was calm, flat, not cruel, not kind, just empty. He'd offer water, a blanket, a word of reassurance, and then close the door. Then the sound. The clang of steel locking shut, the hiss of heat on metal, the buzz of grinders and torches. Not violence, not chaos, but process, as if he were building something. As if your suffering was part of a blueprint. His basement wasn't a dungeon, it was a workshop. Designed, calculated, engineered for silence. The walls were layered. Steel, concrete, foam, more steel. Even when machines ran, the surface barely trembled. Underground, time didn't pass. Lights flickered on timers. No sun, no clocks, just noise and silence, alternating like breath. One girl said she survived by pretending not to exist. She listened for his boots, counted his steps, measured hours by the hums of generators. She said the smell of oil would come first, then the chill, then the hum, then the shadow in the mask. He didn't look at her. He looked through her, and then walked on. The cages were welded so tight, not even air slipped through the seams. You couldn't scream, not because of fear, because the noise outside erased you. People think horror is chaos, but the welder wasn't chaos, he was control. He knew every seam, every pipe, every echo. He made that basement not just to contain bodies, but to erase people, and he was good at it, too good. That's why they couldn't catch him, not even the federal teams. They came with drones, gear, scanners, but all they found was a structure with no signal, no heat, no access. They didn't go in. They said it was too unstable, but the locals say they were afraid, because one of their men vanished before the mission even began. They never released his name, just packed up and left. And the hum returned, the lights flickered. The metal door stayed closed, and people still disappeared. One boy was dared to get close. Teenagers, bored, trying to prove something. He crossed the fence. He didn't come back. The other kids swore they heard something. Like breathing. Like fire. Like machines waking up. His parents put up flyers. Lit candles. Nothing came. No news. No trace. Just one thing. A photo sent to their phone. A blurry shot. A figure in the woods. Mask. Gloves. Welding apron. Holding something heavy. Then black. No return number. No location tag. Just fear. Static, and silence. Sometimes, late at night, hikers still say they hear it. Not voices, not screams, but rhythm, like metal tapping metal, like something being assembled, far below their feet. The trees around Blackhollow don't feel right. Birds avoid the air above it. Animals skirt its edges. Even insects go silent near the fence. Locals say it's because the place isn't empty. It breathes. They say the basement isn't just a room. It's a system, ventilated, rooted, extended, a machine made of concrete and metal and pain, and the welder its heart. His presence was never loud, but it pressed down on you, made the air heavier, thicker, like walking into static. Those who got too close felt it, not fear, something colder, the absence of sound, like being swallowed. A few tried to fight it. One man came in with a shotgun, parked close, broke the door, went inside. He streamed everything. You can still find the video. For a while, it's just flashlights and breathing, long corridors, rust, water dripping. Then the humming starts, and the screen shakes. The flashlight flickers. He turns, fast. Something moves past the camera, a shadow. Then it cuts, just static. His name was Ray Dunning. Never found. The footage ends with a single frame. One still image, a welding mask, lit by a red emergency bulb, looking straight into the lens. The timestamp reads 3:17 a.m., then black. They found his truck. Yes, keys still inside, a half-eaten sandwich. But no trace of Ray. Not a drop, not a print, not a thread. Just that video. Just that frame. The authorities never explained it. They stopped trying. By 2022, they rerouted traffic, closed the trails. Satellite images were blurred. You can't find the warehouse anymore, but it's still there. Still running. Still humming. The cages remain sealed. The lights still flicker. No power lines feed it, but it glows. As if the place itself refuses to die. And in the silence below, something walks, slowly, masked, patient. The welder doesn't run, he waits, and when you step too close, when you wander off path, when you accept that one small offer from the stranger who seems kind, the one who says follow me, I know a shortcut, that's when the hum returns. That's when you realize it's too late, because silence isn't absence, it's design. People say maybe he's not alive. That the warehouse runs itself, that the humming is automated. Just the echo of an old system left behind. But that doesn't explain the movements, the new locks, the clean drains, the disappearing hikers. Or the updated tools found once by a drone that passed it close, stainless steel, polished, active. You don't polish steel if you're dead. You don't clean bloodstains if there's no one left to see them. Someone is still down there, working, waiting. The welder doesn't need to be seen. The hum is enough. A rhythm that gets inside your head, that wears you down, that erases time. Survivors, if you can call them, that don't remember how long they were there. Days feel like minutes, minutes stretch into nothing. One woman said she survived by counting drips from a leak in the ceiling. Another said she never even saw him, only heard the torch. The boots, the dragging sound, metal across metal, and the smell like hot iron and burned oil always arrived before he did. No words, no screams, just silence followed by construction. Some say he's building something. Not cages anymore, not just rooms, but a system. A city underground, a place where no sound escapes and no one ever leaves. They say he was a man once, but he became something else. Something forged, not born, made of intention, purpose, silence, that the mask isn't just for hiding his face. It's what he is now, cold steel and shadows. That the man disappeared the moment he first sealed the cage shut. That the welder is all that's left, and maybe that's why he's never been caught. Because how do you stop something that doesn't move fast? That doesn't shout, that doesn't leave marks. The forest hides the structure, the machines hide the screams. The silence hides everything else. The government won't talk. Locals won't go near. And the victims, they never come back, just vanish. Like smoke, like fog, like they never existed. The last official report came from a private contractor. Hired to survey the area, he marked anomalies underground, hollow zones, tunnels not on any map. He filed a report, sent an email, then vanished. His equipment was found weeks later, still recording. One clip, buried deep in his files, showed only a wall, concrete, wet, scratched, and on it, a mark burned into the surface, a welding torch, stylized into a skull. No other footage, no audio, just that image. Still, silent, the final update on his report read one sentence. The hum is coming from below. Since then, nothing. No visits, no drones. The woods are quiet again, but not empty. The fence still rusts in the wind. The metal door still stands. The power still pulses beneath the soil. And the hum, it never stopped, it never fades, it waits. Because the welder wasn't a killer like the others. He didn't seek chaos, he built a world with rules. With layers, with purpose, one where no one can hear you. One where screams are welded shut. And every sound is swallowed by machines. If you find yourself in the Appalachians, and you meet a man who offers you a shortcut, don't follow him, even if he seems kind, especially if he seems kind. If he wears gloves, if he avoids the sunlight, if he tells you the overlook is just a little farther, turn around. Because by the time you smell oil and rust, by the time the trees go quiet, it's already too late. The steel door is behind you. And it never opens the same way twice. Because the welder isn't gone, he's waiting. And in the dark beneath your feet, the hum begins again. If you want to hear more stories that pull you into the shadows and keep you on the edge, don't forget to subscribe. There are more secrets waiting to be uncovered, and the darkness is never truly silent. Stay with us, stay alert.